Hey, what's up, everybody? Again, Josh Pono, First Class Real Estate, SD, owner of the franchise. We are doing a training on layering questions or seeking to understand questions. These are the questions that will kind of open up the conversation to get to the meat that we're looking for. Motivation, pain points, wants, needs, desires, timeline, all of that stuff. The important thing is that it's structured in a way, you've got to internalize these because I found the best success is, you could run down these one by one by one by one. Nice. When do you sell? When you do sell, do you know where you're moving to? Okay, great. Out of curiosity, market is cool. What's holding you back? You could go down it and it'll make most sense. But if you can internalize these and understand which conversation pieces are needed in a whole, and then as the conversation's flowing with the seller and they are mentioning this or that, you can plug and play those pieces into the conversation. So it sounds like it's just flowing naturally. It sounds like they're controlling it, but really you're strategically placing these things to open up the conversation. So when you're looking at the first one, this would be, we're talking about in relation to some of the old ones, right? Like, this is for old expireds primarily. Most of this is relevant to all seller calls. And this training is specifically written for expireds. So when we're calling older expireds, we know that they were on the market previously. We know they've been off for a while, and we know that there's a higher opportunity that maybe they have to move and they're just waiting, or there's something holding them back. Either way, these are people that were selling, didn't sell for a reason, and you're reaching out to them. Old expireds, you get a lot of success with them. They are not, which is popping up in my screen, they are not, that's what it is, let's get rid of that. Yes, I'm sure, close it. They are not, I love it when I get distracted. So these sellers, where was I at, Justin? Help me out here. Help a trainer out.
You were saying about basically just like internalizing them, and so you can
internalizing these questions, and
these
are thank you for that. These are these are in context to specifically old expired scripts or new expired scripts conversations, and you really want to just use them in the place that they're flowing. So when somebody says, hey, the market shifted, rates are rising, inventory's up, this is impacting sellers every single day right now. If you could get the right price with the right buyer, and we could line up the right time for you, I'm talking about price, I'm talking about timing, I'm talking about motivation, have you thought about selling in the future? Okay, now no matter what they say, that's positive. So they're like, yeah, if I got $1 million, I totally move. Or, yeah, you know what, we're actually thinking about selling in the next 6 months. It's funny you're calling. Or actually, we're interviewing agents now. This is a great place for, hey, that's awesome. I'm so glad I called you. When you do sell, okay, reaffirming the action that they're going to take action. When you do sell, because you just told me you're going to do that, do you know where you're going to move? Okay, because also too, this will tell you right away how close they are. If they're like, yeah, we're moving out of state, hey, where are you moving to? We haven't figured that out yet. Well, there's still some work to be done. Now, sometimes we can pave a path for sellers to say, well, you should sell now to avoid the dip. You can go there and rent, watch it, wait, buy. There's all kinds of different ways we can create urgency there or motivation there, but that also allows me to understand, okay, where they're at in the process and where I need to take that conversation. Because if they don't know yet, then me talking about selling the house today is going to be out of order. Okay, if they say something along the lines like, well, do you know where you're moving to? And you say they say, yeah, actually, we're going to Texas. Our granddaughter lives there. We're moving to Texas. The only thing holding we were going to go earlier, but now we've waited and we're just waiting for the right time. Hey, out of curiosity, since the market is cooled, next layering question, what's been holding you back? Well, I'm retiring here in 3 months, and I'm just going to wait until I'm retired. Or, well, my daughter here is having a baby, and then once that happens, we're out of here. Awesome. So you've got a life circumstance, right? You have a life circumstance that's holding you back. And we also want to know, well, we've been waiting for the right time. Well, if they say they've been waiting for the right time, ding, 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 now I can provide them value and educate them on what the timing looks like over the next 6 months and what could be a smart move. If they say we have something in our way, I can use that to say, okay, fantastic. So you already know when. Do you have a time that you're planning on making the move? So, well, you know what? As soon as we retire, so I retire in October, as soon as we retire, we're going to put the house on the market immediately, and we're going to get it sold and then move. Okay, fantastic. Are you buying there, or are you renting there, or do you have a place to land? No, we already have a place to land. Oh, okay, fantastic. So all you need is a little time before it happens. Well, listen, right now, inventory is rising. Next question. Right now, inventory is rising. Interest rates are jumping, and buyers are hesitant to move forward. Now, more than ever, working with a strong agent is really important. Are you going to interview agents prior to deciding, or are you already exclusively committed to an agent you love, know, and trust? Okay, and when I do that layering question, and by the way, some of these personality things that I'm throwing in that are on this, that's for you to decide how you want to sell yourself. This is the freedom and flexibility in a script where it's like, hey, are you exclusively committed to an agent already? I might throw in there that you love, trust, respect, and you would never use anybody else, because most of us don't have that type of relationship with a real estate agent. So if I say to them, hey, do you have an agent you're exclusively committed to already, one that you love, trust, and would absolutely go after you if you ever used anybody else? The answer most of the time is, well, we have a friend or two, but we haven't actually committed to anybody. Fantastic. I'm always curious. How did you meet an agent? Now this one, if they have an agent, I'm going to ask this question 100 out of 100 times, because this one is really, most of the time when agents hear, well, I already have an agent, they go, ah. And what a lot of coaches will say is go after, being their second agent. And one of the scripts is, well, listen, I don't always have to be number one. Sometimes I can be number two. And as long as I'm number two, I'm happy with that. Can I be your second go-to agent? That's fine. That's great. But before I get there, I want to know how they met the agent. Well, hey, I'm always curious. How'd you meet the agent? Really curious, right? Really genuine. I'm curious. How'd you meet him? Okay, and this also gives you value in knowing this information about your clients, because then when you talk to other people, you can say, hey, most of my clients meet people through here or there, but you'll have that information from the horse's mouth, so to speak. Well, we met him at an open house. Oh, fantastic. You know that a lot of buyers meet their agents through open houses. Now, you met him at their open house or another open house? That's a great layering question, because great listing agents, most of them, they don't do their own open houses. Usually they don't. And if they do say, well, it was his listing. Interesting. So he was doing his own open house. And if you see how I say that, all of a sudden they're like, huh, why is that weird? Right? But the tone said it. I didn't say it. So wait, interesting. So it was not his open house, but he was doing it, or she was doing it. Well, yeah. Why is that weird? Or it was his listing and he was doing the open house? Huh. Interesting. Right? And I can customize that to however I run my business, but that's a fantastic layering question, because I can say to them, like, well, listen, let me ask you a question. Did you know that most agents in the entire country, if they just take 6 listings a year, just take 6 listings a year, not even sell them, but just take them, meaning somebody said, I'll let you sell the home, they're in the top 10%. Most agents in San Diego sell 2 to 3 listings a year, and they sell 3 to 4 buyers a year. And most agents, when they're looking for new business, they go to open houses. And they usually are going to open houses because they want buyers. Great listing agents focus exclusively on generating listings to give great service to sellers, and they focus on the marketing. In fact, the great listing agents don't actually have time to do their own open houses because they're too busy marketing their properties. Believe me, I know. I've done all the roles. Okay, do you see what I just did there? I just completely separated myself, and I say, so listen, out of curiosity, you said you're working with them. Have you signed a listing agreement? No, I haven't. Well, hey, then I can go into one of my closing statements down here with the appointment setting, right? I can find that value, find that pain, and go after the, well, hey, would you interview us? If I could do a better job in less time with less stress and get you more money, would you at least be open to interviewing us? Okay, now that's if we find a pain point. If they say, you know, oh, well, they helped me sell my home last time. Oh, okay. So they were the agent. Now I still use this. Oh, okay. So they were the agent that represented you last time. Now they weren't expired. So we know that most likely their most recent transaction wasn't successful. That's actually a good question, a good place to stop on that conversation because, okay, so now you're telling me you're using somebody that didn't get the job done last time. Fair enough. Okay, well, okay, no problem. I totally get that. I totally respect that. Why not use somebody that's already done some work for you? But out of curiosity, because I'm a curious cat, right? Out of curiosity, I'm not being aggressive, I'm just curious. Out of curiosity, why did it not sell last time? What did the agent say? And I say it like that, in that tonality. Why didn't it sell last time? What did the agent say? Because if a home doesn't sell and you're an agent and you don't know why, then you're probably not the right agent for the job. Let's just be accountable for a minute. It's our job to know the market. It's our job to know how it's going to sell. It's our job to know what price. Now, we're not perfect, but I know most of the time, based on the price that we pick, the time, the market, wherever we're at, I know about how long it's going to sell. Now, if they overprice it, then of course I'm not going to do that. Now, the great part about this question too, though, is that nobody wants to say to their client why it didn't sell. Well, honestly, Mr. Seller, you completely bullied me. You made me list the home for $50,000 over my highest recommended price. You told me if I wasn't going to change the price, I wouldn't get the listing. The market was crazy. It could have been anything. And I decided to take a shot with it. No agent's going to say that. So the agent will say, well, you know, we missed it, or there was a couple things, or, well, I don't know why it didn't sell, because that's easier than being accountable to say, you know what, I didn't educate you correctly during the listing process, and because I let you get off the boat, off the ground with bad expectations, I let you down. So this question will bring up an answer from the agent that'll give you, well, they just said X, Y, and Z. Huh. Well, did they pick the price or did you pick the price? Right? And so I start going down that tree because most likely I'll at least get them to go, huh, something did go wrong. Huh, maybe I don't have the best plan. Huh. And at that point you say, hey, listen, I totally respect the relationship. In fact, I love the loyalty. But the reality is that the job wasn't done and there should have been a stronger reason why. With that being said, if I could show you our system that is completely different from what you just went through, I could ensure that you sold it for more money at the time that was perfect for you with the least amount of stress. Wouldn't that be something of value to you? Okay, and you see the flow of how question, seeking to understand, finding pain, finding we, okay, finding something there, and through me asking questions, doubt forms on their side, so then at the right time, I give them a easily agreed upon statement, hey, sounds like something went wrong, sounds like you definitely want to do something different to get different results. If I could show you our system that is proven to increase your sales price, proven to decrease your market time, proven to hit your timelines for your motivation and your moving, and I could show that to you in a 30-minute meeting, wouldn't that be something of value to you, whether you hire them or not? So layering questions, and they can be around anything. Well, we need to move because the house is bigger. How big of a house are you in now? What's bigger? I've got clients that say I want bigger, but really what they mean is they want more parking for their RV. That's not a bigger house, that's a bigger lot, right? So I don't like to assume anything. Well, we need a bigger house. Awesome, fantastic. What are you in now? I'm in 1,500 square feet. Fantastic. Why do you want more square feet and how much more do you want? Well, you know what? We've got twins on the way. We only have a 2-bedroom. I need 3 or 4 bedrooms minimum, and I'm working from home now. Ooh, high motivation level, right? I need to sell this house now because I'm losing my mind and I need to find another house because I got 2 babies on the way and my need to fit into society says that dads go out and get a bigger house when their kids are coming. Okay, in canceled and expireds, a lot of agents get upset because they're really competitive in the beginning, but once you get into a conversation, it's very easy to create pain. You tried to do something and it failed, and honestly, the agent is the fault. Whether we can say, well, I had a stubborn seller that wouldn't let me price it the way I want. You still took the listing. You still agreed to sell it for that price. And don't get me wrong, I've taken listings that I know I shouldn't have taken. I've had these, but that was my fault when I look back on it. I should have walked away. I should have said, maybe it's better for me to be your second agent or your third agent because I don't believe in the thing that we're doing right now. So I believe in accountability at the highest level. These questions, though, are fantastic because they get to who's accountable. And the sellers don't want to be accountable because then they have to face the mirror. And the agents don't want to be accountable for the same reason. And so usually, though, once the guard is down through layering questions, they'll come out and say what's going on. Okay, I'm always curious, how did you select the previous agent? Big question, because a lot of times, what do we know? We know that 2 out of 3 go with the first agent they meet, through a friend, through a family, through something. So I'm always curious, how did you select the previous agent? How did you meet the previous agent? Well, they'll give you all kinds of different answers. Well, hey, what did your agent do? And now, by the way, these right here are all questions that are value differentiators from us. So, hey, I'm curious, what did your agent do to educate you with reliable information about selling your home prior to listing it on the market? As much as it might blow people's minds, there are still agents that come into a house, look around, take some shots with their iPhone, we've all seen them, and go, I don't know, about 700. Yeah, let's list it for 700. No data, no education, no market. So don't assume just because some of the top teams in the country are kicking butt, doing these we have a really nice laid out listing presentation, but don't assume that that's what your competition's doing. They're not. Not in the masses, and at least not 30-40% of the time. So build it out to where you're hitting the home runs on the ones where they just had a bad agent or they had a bad plan. What did your agent do to educate you with reliable information about selling your home prior to listing it on the market? Okay, and you'll take their answer, no problem. Who picked the price? Well, based on this, they picked the price. What did you think about that price? Do you think the price contributed to it? Did you feel the home was worth it? Most of the time they're gonna say, yeah, I feel like it was worth it. Gotcha. So who picked the marketing strategy? Did the agent agree to your price? Yeah, the agent agreed. So the agent agreed to your price. They picked the marketing strategy, and it still didn't get done. Okay. Hey, no problem. It happens all the time. If you could sell your home for top dollar in the next 30 days, would you? Or why did you previously want to sell? Like if they're like, nah, we're not selling. Nah, we're not selling. Nah, we're not selling. We don't want to talk. We don't talk. Hey, out of curiosity, why'd you sell the property previously? Well, you know what? We were thinking about buying a bigger home. Now we remodeled. Okay, there's nothing. I can stop. They've already pulled out money out of their equity. They've already started the contract. They've already signed contracts. They're not selling now, so I can get rid of all that wasted energy of trying to convert somebody. I could just simply say to them, well, hey, no problem. Did you feel your last agent did a fantastic job? They'll probably say no. No problem. Would it be okay with you if I checked into you from time to time just to be informative about what's going on in the market? Would you be offended by that? Use that line a lot. Would you be offended? Nobody's going to say to you, yeah, I say that line all the time. Maybe once I got it sarcastic, yeah, I'd be offended. Like people, no, it wouldn't be offensive. But in the calling world, it's appropriate because there are people like I get offended when people call, but not if you ask their permission and you do it in the right way so they have to say yes. Get their permission. That way, if you do call back and they say, why are you calling me? You say, well, you said you wouldn't be offended. It all works together. But again, you have to internalize this conversation because it goes so many directions based on the seller. You can try to control them and it'll work, but it just won't feel authentic. It won't feel genuine and your rates won't be as good because you won't deliver it as positively as you would if it was your own. So, hey, I'm thinking of selling my home with the same agent. Great. If you knew you could, these are hook lines, right? Like if they're like, I'm going to sell with the other person. Hey, no problem. I can appreciate that. If you knew we could give you better service, a less stressful sale, a higher sales price, would you consider another approach to accomplish your goal? Hey, before you hire the same agent with the same marketing, with the same approach, and before you hope for different results, have you thought about interviewing other agents to ensure you get the best results? Just to have peace of mind, just to do your due diligence. Have you thought about doing that? You see how I'm not looking for them to say, yes, Josh, I'll list with you. Yes, Josh, I'll meet you. Yes, all I'm looking for them to do is understand there's a challenge in their current thought process, have a little doubt in their current thought process, invest a little bit more time to being open-minded about this process, right? And by doing so, it creates the opportunity for these value statements, these hook statements, to say, hey, listen, I hear you. You wanted to sell. It didn't happen. The agent said it was the marketing. The agent said that it was the market, but yet they agreed on the price. They picked the marketing strategy. I know you're friendly with them, but you didn't get to go where you wanted to go. How much has that impacted your life? If you were already there, would you be having a better experience? Fantastic. So if I could set up an approach that'd be completely different, get you better results, less stress, more money, on your preferred timeline, and make sure and guarantee you get where you need to go, would that be of value to you? Would you be open-minded to that? Your conversion rates will jump up drastically, but you notice how you can tell I've said these questions 1,000 times, right? It's internalized, and that's why I was really successful. This is your playbook. Okay, the appointment setting script, that's a whole other training. We'll pause the video here. Obviously, that training, you have access to that if you want. Let us know if you have some questions. Again, I'm Josh Pono with First Class Real Estate. Email address is Josh, Josh, P as in Pono, at first, 1ST, firstclassre.com. Let us know if you have any questions, and hopefully you go out and get some listings. This stuff works. Talk to you soon.